Today I am going to Today I am going to talk about some note-taking techniques that really helped me to get a higher band score not only in IELTS but also in my board exams. So I'm going to show you guys the techniques that I used for note taking, and also if you want to implement these methods in your study routine, then go ahead and do it. I am simply showing you guys so that it can be helpful for you. And I have to remind you guys about one thing, that I don't really use any kind of apps like the digital apps. I don't like to take my notes in digital platform. Most of the time I use my notebooks because this really helped me to memorize the contents really faster. And my eyesight is really bad, I have to tell you guys that, so I try to avoid using screens all of the time so that my eyesight can improve at least a little bit. Okay, so the first method that I use most of the time is called mind mapping. I don't know if you guys have heard about it or not, but it simply means using visual methods. Like you can use some bar graphs or charts or diagrams so that you can concise the key points or complex ideas in a better way. It is really helpful for you to do the brainstorming part, or also you can try this method to understand any kind of complex concepts very easily. So I'm going to show you guys the things that I used to do with it. For instance, if I talk about this one, this is my physics notebook in my college year. So I used to write down the information that were necessary for me, like in main key points. You don't need to elaborate it more, you just only need to write down the key points. Like you can just write down the main formulas that are necessary for you to do a mathematical calculation or anything else. So I used to do that a lot, and I also used to do the mind mapping method. Like as you can see, I have used a diagram or visual method. I'm showing you guys the other things as well. See, this one is also a visual representation of a question. I wrote or simply drew this diagram so that it will be helpful for me to understand the complex ideas. This is also one of the examples. It is called Carnot engine. I don't know if it's included in your syllabus or not, but that was very complex idea for me. So I simply drew a diagram like this one, and also in this page. I simply drew this diagram, and I also write down all of the important formulas, like the key methods that are necessary for me to conduct a mathematical calculation and everything else that were important. And I did this so that it was helpful for me to understand the key concepts. So you can also try to do it. And I was really good at drawing, so that's why it was very easy for me to do it in a short span. So you can also try to do it if you are comfortable using this method. The second method is called outline technique. I think it is very commonly used. So in this method, all you need to do is divide your contents into different segments. Like you can try to add some bullet points. And you have to also divide your contents into main and subtopics as well, because this will really help you to read the contents according to its own necessity. Okay, so if I talk about this one, so this is my biology notebook. So as you can see, I wrote down this and this in colored pen. I used a blue pen so that it will make it more highlighted in my eyes. So I used this. So this is the bullet point, because this is the main topic that I'm going to read about. So this is the bullet point, and after that, these are the main topics or subtopics. So you can just simply try to do it. And also what you can do is simply try to use some highlighter or colored pens, because this will really help you to recognize the key points. Like as you can see, I have used red colored pen or also brown colored pen, then different kinds of pens. So you can do that. The third technique for note taking is called charting method. I think I have already used lots of examples for this one. As you can see, this is one of the examples. So this is also my biology notebook. This technique is commonly used for comparisons. Like if you want to compare the data with another things, then you have to try this method because this is really helpful. And also in this method, you can try to use some tables to categorize the informations. Okay, so as you can see, this is a comparison. I have literally just made some tables and added the information because I want to make a comparison, and in this way you can easily see the informations for different segments, so you can also try to do it. I also used this method for IELTS writing. Like, as you guys know that in IELTS writing task 2, there are different types of questions for essay writing. So there are actually 5 types of questions. So I simply used this charting method to write down the key informations that will help me to recognize each of the questions pattern. So I definitely used it because it was really helpful for me to gather all of the contents, and also it was really important for me to do that. So if you guys want to make your studies more effective and memorization more faster, then you can try to incorporate these things in your note taking times. Okay, the next technique that I'm going to talk about is called sentence method. So in this method, all you need to do is write down the key points in sentence form. Like as you can see, I have written the key formulas that are necessary for me to do the mathematical calculation for physics in sentence form. You can also write down the key points. And when you have to do your revision, like one day before your exam, you can just simply open your notebook and read all of the sentences that you wrote when you were taking the main concepts into your mind. So it will really help you to concise your thoughts, because one day before exam we tend to be very nervous about our exam. So all we need to do at that moment is try to calm down ourselves a little bit. So when you think that your notes are well prepared for you, and you can just easily take a look on your notes, and it will help you to make your revision faster. So it will really help you to make yourself more confident and actually ace your exam. You can also use some flashcards where you will write the key informations in small piece of paper, and also you can use this type of small sticky notes. This will really help you. I used to mainly use this type of sticky notes to categorize my notes into different chapters. So you can also try to do it, and also try to use some highlighters. And also you can try to incorporate active recall technique. I feel like this really helped me to gather all of my informations, and this will also benefit you in the long run. So you can try to incorporate these elements in your note taking time. And in the next video, I will be talking about some memorization techniques which will help you to memorize your things faster, and also this will really benefit you to understand the key concepts without just memorizing it. Okay, so you need to learn and make a strategy for your studies so that you can read smarter, not harder. Okay, so you need to move on with your studies in a strategic way. Only in that way you can make a good results. Okay, so you need to keep that things in your mind. So if you want to see more of the videos, you can just simply write down the problems that you face when you're studying in the comment section. I will try my best to solve it for you guys. See you in the next video.